I'm Steve Johnston with Rogue Toys. I'm the owner, operator, and founder, I guess you would say. But more if anything, I'm a toy enthusiast. This is Jason. Jason is one of our store clerks and been with us the longest amount of time. He's also a big fan of anime and what else would you say?
Anime, video games, pretty much anything at the moment, pop culture, and just awesome in general.
He's just awesome. And this is James. James is our eBay specialist. And James also is our on-site Japanese robot and Japan toys expert.
I like to think I'm constantly learning new things, but so far, if I'm going to be the expert, I'll take it.
we throw the expert title around lightly. So Rogue Toys, probably a long time in coming. The first store actually opened about 18 months ago, which is on Las Vegas Boulevard, diagonal to the Pawn Stars location. That store came about from my wife actually being tired of being overrun with masses of toys all around the place. What actually had occurred was we had sold online for about 3 years independently, and I have been buying and selling toys for over 18 years. Finally, when I decided to go independently with selling the toys, we ended up deciding to open a location, and we couldn't find a better spot than right on the Las Vegas Strip.
Well, here at Rogue Toys, mainly what we do is your vintage toys. We do a lot of the G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, and basically what we're here for is to help you relive your youth. We're kind of the enablers, we like to call it, of your collection and your passion as a toy collector.
So at Rogue Toys, roughly about 10% of our sales are online sales. We focus on eBay, and we also have a web page which we sell merchandise that we find has more of a focused market that won't often come into the store, although sometimes we do like to carry more exclusive pieces that are sort of showstoppers that would be more rare to find online, and so that gives us sort of a grasp on both markets, both online and here locally, and it also helps us give sort of that exclusivity of having very special and significant rare pieces.
One of my favorite things about the stores and having a physical location is the interaction with our customers, the reaction they get when they walk back, they step in and they see their childhood all over again. Nothing stands out more than when we first opened the Las Vegas Boulevard store. That gentleman that was from Australia walks in, grabs a Castle Grayskull from the top of the rack, sets it down on the floor, opens it up and starts assembling everything. The guy's in the middle of my showroom floor playing with the toy, and I'm like, he's barely said hi to me. So I let him go ahead, he sets it up, he plays with it, puts everything back nicely, picks it up, shrugs his shoulders, walks up to the counter, puts it on the counter, looks across at me, and he goes, "Ha, Mom." And I go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "My mom never let me have this when I was a kid, but I have my own money now." Being able to come back and relive your youth with us is absolutely one of the most rewarding things about this entire process of owning a vintage and collectible toy store. I think that the toy market has definitely dictated itself to become more collectible and more popular. Obviously, because of the modern day blockbusters. Those blockbusters are coming from the fact that people who are now in their 30s are reliving their childhood every single time that they visit and see one of those. Seeing a franchise like a Star Wars that has continued to just grow and build, become the monster that it's become, and to think that in 1977, a film that was shot down by most studios is generating just as much interest today as it did that day, kind of indicates that people want to go back, live that childhood over again, still have a piece of it, and at the same time, because of the rarity, exclusivity of some of these pieces and whatnot, it's definitely created a collector market that's second to none. I mean, vintage Star Wars right now is a better investment than gold. You couldn't invested your money any better in the last 18 months. Star Wars has seen almost a 40% increase. It's just amazing to see that the collectability of these toys and where they've come from and where they're continuing to go. This is not going away anytime soon. So this here is the Kenner 12-inch Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones in the 80s, if you remember, was a huge force, and that with Harrison Ford being behind that and Star Wars and Blade Runner, the popularity of this piece right here has kind of skyrocketed the 12-inch Indiana Jones to be one of the more popular pieces out of the entire line. Definitely one of Kenner's more popular toys. This one's mint in sealed package, and it carries a pretty a pretty hefty price tag to it, but it's definitely worth the memories that are attached to it.
And going along with the battle between Kenner and what became the major markets, which was Kenner, Hasbro, and Mattel, you ended up coming up with things like the G.I. Joe line, the 3 3/4 inch. Now, originally you would have had the 1970s, 60s, and 70s Joes, as you see here, with our painted hair Joe, the Bazooka Trooper. Those became more of an action figure in the 80s, coming up with the Era line, a real American hero. Here we have a Scarlet that is a 9-back, and what that means is that there's 9 characters dictated on the back and indicated it was the first 9 figures they made. So this would have been the original release of this card. These figures are also known as the straight arms, as G.I. Joe later down the line put swivel into the arms so it could move outward and inward. This has been graded by what's called AFA, which is the Action Figure Authority, and they have dictated that this is an AFA 85. 85 in the toy world is pretty much the top grades that they would provide in the market. To give you an idea, the value of this toy currently in the condition it's in here as an AFA 85 would be $1,600. Whereas if this was raw, ungraded in this condition, the toy's worth $800 to $900. Just to give you an idea of how rare this can be, but the grading process can definitely raise the value of the toy. When you're grading, you're protecting your investment. Finally here to show is something that I would say is one of our most prized possessions, which is the 1957 #1 ponytail Barbie from Mattel. Mattel came out with Barbie. Really, she was there to kind of show off the fashion industry trends. She wasn't really made to be a doll. She was a fashion doll when she first came out. And obviously, she became one of the longest standing toy lines ever running. Barbie has since then gone through everything. Barbie's been in a wheelchair. Barbie has been with Snoopy. Barbie has been everywhere. And this particular toy that you're looking at here, in this condition, she's going to be considered about a 7 in condition. She has original sunglasses. She's missing the stand, which she also originally came with, and of course the box. But just in this condition, standing here alone, you're looking at about a $3,500 doll. So this is the Star Wars Holy Grail known as the Vinyl Cape Jawa. This particular Vinyl Cape Jawa is the Toll Toys version, which is a little bit more obscure than the version that we would have received either in the UK, in Canada, or in the United States. Known because of the vinyl cape was mainly the issue. They decided at Kenner to change it from the vinyl cape to the cloth cape that most of us knew the Jawa having, because they felt that it was such a small toy, people were paying too much for just the vinyl cape to be on there. So they made the change. These have gone into obscurity. They're hard to find. Carded versions are impossible to find. And in the loose world, this is one of the most rare toys in the Star Wars galaxy. So we do specialize in Star Wars from both vintage to modern. As you can see, we have everything from carded vintage Star Wars up to the current lines, including the Black Series, which is a really popular line currently. And the fact that we buy, sell, and trade every day, you never know what you're going to find when you walk into one of our stores. So here in our west location, Rogue Toys, we feature our Lego section. And we're one of the only places in Vegas that you can actually get bulk Lego, where you can actually get and fill a bag, or you can even build your own minifigures and create your own characters. We also offer Legos that are mint and sealed box, unopened, never played with. Minifigures that are assembled, series figures and so on. And we also offer sets that are pre-built with instructions and their boxes. And here we have some of our 1980s vintage space sets. I know as my childhood, these were the absolute Lego toys that I had in my collection.
There may be a buyer for everything, but they don't always come around.
All right, and thanks for stopping by Rogue Toys today. We got 2 stores in the Las Vegas area to serve you. We have the Las Vegas Boulevard location at 616 Las Vegas Boulevard South, and our new location, which is up on the west side, this store, the west location on Rainbow just north of Sahara at 2115 South Rainbow Boulevard. Both stores are open till 7 o'clock every day, with the Las Vegas Boulevard store opening at 10 and Rainbow opens at 11. And you can shop anytime you want at RogueToys.com. Thanks again for stopping by, guys. Have a good day.